The Central Montana Resource Council held a seminar in Lewistown to discuss Montana's impaired waterways. Here's a few words from the key speakers on the issue of impaired waterways.
An impaired water body is a term that is under the Clean Water Act, which is a national law but is implemented in Montana by the Department of Environmental Quality. And it is when a stream has too much of a pollutant in it for the water to be useful for aquatic life or for recreation or for agricultural use or drinking or one of those. Studies have shown that point sources of pollution are not what cause the majority of our water quality issues these days. It's sources of pollution that are spread out across the landscape, or non-point sources of pollution that cause issues with the majority of our stream and river miles. And so that's important to understand because the law and policy at both the national and the Montana level that deal with non-point source issues are all under a voluntary framework.
Farmers, ranchers, and people from the community can volunteer to monitor waterways in the area that can affect our crops, livestock, and families.
I was invited to come tonight to talk to everyone about volunteer monitoring and why it's so important and how they can help protect our Montana waters. And I was invited particularly because I run a program at the Flathead Lake Biological Station called Monitoring Montana Waters. What we do is support volunteers throughout the state of Montana, and our goal is to provide them with information, guidance, funding, and support to help them collect scientifically credible data.
This seminar is raising awareness to protect and restore our waterways here in central Montana.
Fish need water, so addressing water quality and the habitat that the fish live in is part of my job and part of our role as being good stewards of the fish and wildlife resources of the state.
Water is important to us here in Montana. This natural resource is used for drinking water, to power our homes, to grow our crops, and for outdoor recreation.
So I'm here to talk about watershed restoration planning and how that plays into a community's efforts to address water quality issues and concerns, priorities in a watershed. Restoration planning basically is laying out a roadmap for a group of stakeholders to address water quality impairments or concerns in their watersheds.
So help keep our water safe by education, monitoring, and restoring the waterways here in central Montana. In Lewistown, I'm Paul Sanchez for MTN News.